I know that in relation to this, there's a lot of talk right now about the election year, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And oh, rates must go down next
Mm.
year. And I'm not an economist by any means. That's why I want you on here. But
Yeah,
what do you see potentially happening? Presuming, well, I guess we could look at both scenarios. If something
sure.
breaks in the economy, or if something doesn't break, recession, no recession,
Mm.
where do you see potentially rates going in 2024?
So again, I think rate. So again, it's very interesting. When you talk rates, we really have to talk about two different well, really three things. We got to talk about Fed funds, the
Mhm.
10-year, and mortgage rates. Right? They are all are loosely connected, but not direct. Not one-to-one relationships.
Mhm.
Right? Historically, in the last 6 months or so, we have seen the Fed raise the Fed funds rate and the 10-year go down and mortgage rates go down. Right? Most novice people would be like, "How the hell does that happen?" But it happens all the time. Right. So when we talk rates, we'll talk Fed funds first. So again, I'll go back to what I said. My current belief is we do not get a rate cut this year. I think the Fed, frankly, is done. They're going to talk tough, make a lot of noise, and do nothing.
Hmm.
I currently see the first Fed rate cut by the summer of next year. I only see one, maybe two. I do not see us going back to zero. I think Jerome Powell wants to kill the Fed put. I think that Jerome Powell is happy to see real estate billionaires get pasted. Billionaire Barry, as I often call him, Barry Sternlicht, gets getting run over. He's illiquid. He's got no cash. He's struggling. He's declaring bankruptcy. He's losing properties to foreclosure. And now he's selling off his only liquid asset, which is single family homes. So again, that's happening. There's a lot of billionaires in real estate that aren't billionaires anymore. And the Fed's happy about that, in my opinion. I think the Fed basically at the Jackson Hole meeting in his 8-minute speech said, "I'm coming for you." Some listened, some didn't. Barry didn't
Hmm.
listen. Now he's getting, he stayed at the buffet too long, so he's got a little indigestion right now. So again, I think the Fed is done for the year. I see one cut next year, possibly two. So now let's talk 10-year. So the 10-year, last time I checked, I think below 4%. I think it's at 3.9 ish, 3.8, something like that. I haven't checked today, or really haven't checked in a couple of days. I think what you're seeing there is a risk-free rate of return, right? I think that's going to be. I don't think there's a lot of movement there. I think the 10-year kind of stays between 3.7 and 4.1. There's not a lot of movement now that we have the terminal rate and we're in a slower recession. I think that's a good risk-adjusted return. And then we go to mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are interesting because you may know this, but I don't think a lot of people do. The historical spread between the 30-year mortgage rate and the 10-year bond is 175, 180 basis points. Novice 1.8%. Take the 10-year, add 1.8. Historically speaking, that is what the mortgage rate is. So again, if you take 3.8 plus the historical average of 1.8, you get a rate of 5.6. Mortgage rates today are 6.8,
Mhm.
6.9. So what I think happens over the rest of this year is mortgage rates slowly grind lower. My hope is we get to 6% and we kind of baseline. I want rates to be boring. What we have seen transpire in the last 6 months are wild gyrations that are frankly unhealthy and not normal. So my hope is, yeah, the Fed's done. They're at the terminal rate, do nothing. The 10-year is basically where it's at, does nothing. And then over time, 6 months, 9 months, rates back up, bankers compete, and we get a mortgage rate at 6%. So that's what I think happens across the three different rates.
Okay.